Hello everyone. In this video we're looking at a 383 supercharged setup with a 671 wind blower. The reason I've used a 671 wind blower is they're readily available, they're proven, reliable, and they create quite a good amount of boost. Anywhere from between 8 and 12 pounds is good. They'll run a lot more depending on your pulleys, but they start to become parasitic on your engine, create too much heat, you start to lose too much power. But anywhere between 8 and 12 pounds, they're actually quite good. They produce good power increases, especially down low. This engine's a full roller assembly, roller cam, scat rotating assembly, H-beam rods. The cam's pretty standard. Didn't want to go too much of a heavy cam. Blowers like to run fairly standard cams. Steel caps, so it's a pretty strong setup. We're running 8.3 to 1 compression, which is a little bit high, but it should handle it. She's pretty strong. I don't think we'll have any problems with this engine. First thing I want to look at is the inlet manifold. It's been bolted on. It's a nice snug fit. I've used standard manifold gaskets, which I prefer. They're a metal composite, unlikely to blow out in the 8 to 12 pound range. If these don't fit too well, you can double them up, obviously, or go to an aftermarket gasket. A lot of people go to an aftermarket gasket or a multi-strand composite. I think it's unnecessary and expensive. The standard gaskets work really well. It's only if you've got really big ports, you might have to go to something different. If you're running fairly standard ports or just normal large rectangular ports, these will be fine, your standard gaskets. Most important thing I'm looking at in this video is the crank hub that I've had made up. This has been machined out of 4140 steel. What I've done is I've increased the diameter of the hub area here to a big block size. The reason I've done that is on a standard small block it's quite thin. We'll have a look at the harmonic balancer and you'll see what I mean. Standard small block harmonic balancer, once you run a keyway into it, or even a double keyway like I've done here, a 3/16 and a quarter, the material becomes very thin in this area. And under boost pressure, these tend to crack through here. And once they crack, you can imagine you can have catastrophic engine failure. That becomes very expensive. Not worth the risk. You don't have to run a harmonic balancer on a supercharged engine. The actual blower belt takes up the vibration. Race cars don't run harmonic balancers. What can be done, you could machine the weight off it as well, still use the standard hub. But I've decided to go for a custom setup which gives me more thickness in this area. I've maintained a double keyway, but I've thickened this out. How have I done that? Well, the problem you come across is the actual timing case cover for a small block. You can buy aftermarket timing case covers that take a big block seal, but I've cheated. I've maintained the small block seal and small block timing case cover, but I've gone to bearing traders and bought a metric seal, part number TC12594. It's a vulcanized rubber seal. And what I've done to make it fit, because it's about 30 thou out, I've shaved the rubber off on a bench grinder and a wire wheel on the bench grinder. I've been very careful in evenly taking the material off the edge of this. These are about $6 each, so I bought 4 of them. They're not that expensive. So I had a couple of cracks at it. You can see this one's damaged because I've pulled it in and out a couple of times till I got it right, but I eventually got it perfect. And I've sealed it off with a polyurethane seal. Be careful, a lot of Loctite products react with rubber. So do your research, read the label and ensure you're using the correct seal to retain your bearing. As you can see, I've maintained the double keyway and I think this 4140 steel hub should be ample to take the pressure. In the next video, I'll be putting the blower on this engine and we're going to look at the problems we have with running all our accessories. I'm looking at power steering and an alternator. So clearance issues are a problem when you're running a blower and V-belt drives. So we'll look at that in the next video.